Hello Gemini, welcome to your reading for second half of July 2026. And as always, it's going to be general. So, if something doesn't resonate, just let it go or leave it for someone else. Let's welcome in the archangels, ascended masters, light beings, star beings, our higher selves, and any spirit guides you may have, Gemini, as well as any animal, ancestral or dragon guides that you feel resonant with, that you would like to call in to be present for this reading. Five of Wands, Queen of Wands, Two of Swords, Two of Pentacles. Right, I think you've met a challenge recently, Gemini, and you have come out on top. Okay. You've been successful with either learning something or with mixing with some people. Maybe this is a work situation where you've had to, go through some tests or move through an obstacle, or maybe you've been doing some training, personal training development, and you've come out on top here. Let's grab some other cards. It also has this feeling of you sort of standing out from the crowd a little bit. And maybe there's some drama that's gone on that you're not sort of wanting to be a part of, or something to that effect. I'm definitely standing out from the crowd, I'm thinking here, Gemini. Right, you have the Knight of Pentacles and the High Priestess. Okay. Standing out from the crowd and doing you your way, Gemini. I think maybe you've been tuning into your intuition and really sort of learning more about that as well. You've also got the Knight of Pentacles here, and this is about you kind of taking things slowly and taking care with something, and realizing that you're doing something like for the long game in terms of Knight of Pentacles here. And maybe you've decided to develop your intuition over the long term, doing something intuitive. Or also maybe activating your inner wisdom in a way that's like possibly out in the world, or just tuning into yourself, and you're realizing that, there's a lot to be learned and a lot to be gained from doing some inner processes. And I think you're kind of content to take things slowly but surely, okay, in that area. And with regard to, your individuality, I feel like, I think this has a bit of a ring to it of you, it's like you're a part of something here, but you're also not a part of it. Like, you're in it, but you're not of it, if I can say that. And I think you've realised that. Because, here you are, underlying theme is that you are kind of holding your own torch here. King of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands. And this is about you, like, literally, for some reason, the Olympic torch has come into my mind, which is, there's a symbolic torch, okay, that you have, it's like your torch of truth, or your torch of transformation, your torch of your soul or your spirit, something to that effect, that you are going to be holding and, fanning those flames, and in the name of your abundance, your prosperity here. The King of Pentacles really loves it when we prosper, we come into our own. I think this is what you're doing, Gemini. You're coming into your own. You're doing things your way. And and it's interesting because I feel like you have this deep inner knowing now that you're tuning into, which is your individuality, your soul. And it's like you're kind of thinking, well, in terms of physical third dimensional existence, I think you're feeling like, yeah, you know, you've got it sorted. Okay, there's this contented sort of energy of that you've got your bases covered. Gemini, interesting thing is, you know, your power card is the Lovers, you know, symbolised by the two figures there. And here we have two twos, which is kind of a bit of a play on your sign, actually. This is talking about mind-body, I think, for you, Gemini. There's something, you know, you're using your intuition, you're juggling something, you're going within, but there's aspects of your mind that you are being, what am I trying to say? There's something to do with your mind-body connection that you are navigating, that you are coming into a greater understanding of. There's sort of like some indecision and some juggling going on at the moment with regard to that. So it's almost like you're jostling. You're feeling sort of settled and secure, but there's some things here that you are jostling into place, okay? With regard to, you know, I'm thinking like it's a mind-body connection thing, symbolised by these swords, air, mind, and pentacles, earth or body, okay? You're having to be flexible and adaptable. And I think it's also a case of, you know, the connection between your thoughts and your body, okay? So I think you are being more creative when it comes to your maybe physical exercise or doing things with your hands. Maybe you are being more grounded in that way, and you're also realizing how this is impacting your thought processes and how the two are interconnected. Five of Swords, Eight of Wands. Oh, High Priestess again. Wow. You're really activating your intuition at the moment, Gemini, and your inner wisdom. You're really, I think, being your own, it's like your higher self. You're really tuning into your higher self at the moment. So this general direction forward was this idea of mind, body coming into a greater understanding and you making some decisions and adjustments with regard to that. You also had the Five of Swords and the Eight of Wands. So this is to do with the ego. The ego may be saying to you, Gemini, that it's interesting with the ego. The ego likes to kind of keep us in discomfort or pain or lower functional ways of being, if that's what we've been used to, okay? So mind-body connection, when it becomes more harmonious, you know, that's sort of the opposite of less harmony. If you're coming into harmony with that, it's almost like there's an aspect of your ego that could be causing you resistance to move into that harmony. So it's sort of like the ego could be, I guess, putting some spanner in the works with regard to your mind-body connection here. And maybe there's something that's, you know, that some conditioning from your past that's been contributing to that, that part of your ego that's possibly tending to keep you in a relatively disharmonious state with regard to your mind-body connection. Eight of Wands here is that this is action, change, passion, drive, focus, you know, a lot of things moving and changing and shifting. And I think this is energy is going to be, this is also talking about the frequencies that are coming down, okay, that are coming in over this ego energy to kind of recalibrate it, to upgrade it, to reset it, okay, to realign it so that it becomes more harmonious, so that it becomes unidirectional rather than it being at odds. Oh, that's interesting. Excuse me for a minute. I don't know if you heard that boom. Okay, I believe that was a car backfiring. I'm going to assume that. yeah, so what we were saying was these high frequencies coming in. The interesting thing about this card is that I can't really tell. There's wands coming in through this window here. Okay, whether they're coming in or they're going out. You know, so there could be that. It's like this idea of the frequencies coming in to realign your energy body and to help you to kind of harmonize this mind-body connection here for your Gemini. Three of Swords and the High Priestess. Yeah. What you may not be aware of is that you are going through an internal healing process and a bit of a healing journey at the moment, Three of Wands. And this is, you know, you are coming into a greater understanding of your higher self, of your inner wisdom, of your intuition, and probably also an understanding of this with regard to your intuition and tuning in. It's interesting that the emotions and the body are very connected, and the intuition is also connected to feeling and the logical body. So in some ways, the intuition is this bridge here between the physical body and the thinking mind. Okay, so I think it's also what you may not be aware of is that if you are using and developing your intuition here, Gemini, it's actually helping your mind-body connection, believe it or not. Which is interesting, because you're very much in your intuitive energy at the moment. And I think you may need to find, let's get some spirit guidance, that the more you can tune into your intuition, so when we say that, it's about listening to your gut, which is interesting because that's a term sort of, you know, indicating a physical part of the body, but it's the orientation of the consciousness into what the body is doing here. Okay, Spirit, we'll just get some energy from the dragons here. The Hermit, yeah. It's just interesting because I was thinking if you are tuning into your intuition, it's almost like the next logical progression was that you're going to have to you will need to take some time to tune into your intuition so that you can further develop that mind-body connection. And here it is, the Hermit, okay, the soul seeking, but this is connection of mind, body, and spirit, okay. 10 of Cups, yep, this is going to lead to emotional fulfillment. And you also have the Page of Wands. So this is about passion, like development, progress, ambition, inspiration. And I think as you develop this mind-body connection, Gemini, because you're a mutable air sign, so you're probably, you know, maybe connecting to your body may be difficult at times, or maybe it has been a difficult thing. Or maybe you've had challenges in that area, and many of us have, because many of us have been, you know, conditioned to, you know, disassociate from the body, really. Many of us have been conditioned in that way. But that's a whole historical, generational kind of thing that we could go into. Big can of worms there, but we're not going to go into that right this minute. But, you know, here we have the Hermit, your soul being really interconnected, emotional happiness, passion. The Hermit is also an earth energy. So being grounded is going to help you energetically as you develop your intuition and as you tune into your mind-body connection and the interface between that, which is often to do with the breath, okay, the breathing. And here we have it. A beautiful combination. As I was thinking of breath, I was thinking swords because it's the element of air. And here we have it, the Queen of Swords here, which is kind of like, in some ways, it's this higher divine, like a feminine, with the sword, with the breath, a little bit like the High Priestess. The High Priestess doesn't hold a sword, but here we have the Queen of Swords, which is perfect. And the Queen of Wands here, at the start of your reading, which was saying, you know, you are standing out from the crowd and I think you're feeling pretty good about that. You might be feeling pretty content, as though you've got a handle on things. And literally, you've got a handle on this sword. You've got a hold on this sword of your own personal truth there as well. But yeah, talking about that interconnectedness. I also really like, let's place the Queen of Swords between these two, because this is the element of water and air together. Water is in here, it's to do with the flow. So the Queen of Swords is about going with the flow, but also the element of swords as well as fire, like going with the flow, using the breath, using the mind in a way that works harmoniously with other aspects of you. Let's look at this, the bottom of this deck here. Eight of Cups. Yeah, I think you, by tuning into your intuition, you're moving into a deeper, more expanded aspect of yourself here, Gemini. And your mind-body connection is going to be coming together here. 2 2s. I can hardly believe it. But anyway, which is just awesome for a Gemini reading. And here we have the 7 of Pentacles. So yes, in terms of your health, well-being, you are looking very closely at what's working and what isn't. And you could be using your intuition, your consciousness to really kind of tune into the physical body at this time to see how things are going now. And the Fool, yeah, journey. This was, yeah, you're going on a, I think it's a mind, body, spirit kind of journey here, Gemini, but in particular, this connection between the mind and body, mind-body connection, okay? I keep coming back to that for some reason. I think you've got the spiritual aspect kind of sorted here. It's almost like the spiritual stuff, you understand it, you have an awareness of what that means for you. But I think now in terms of bringing that spiritual awareness down into physicality and into your life and into your thoughts, your speech, your everything, the way that you do it, I think this is what you are going to be doing next, which is the journey, okay? Yeah, the Fool. Trusting in yourself, believing in yourself, believing in your higher self, and trusting in your higher self as well. This is a really awesome reading for you. I also really love the Knight of Pentacles in there, which is that energy of stillness, but still progress. Okay, it's about planting the seeds of growth and development in the ways that you're looking to grow and develop. And here we have the Strength cards just fallen out here. So yeah, overcoming any inner obstacles. If you're wanting to activate self-discipline, this card is really, energy is really great for that. Yeah, self-discipline, inner obstacles, inner resistance. I think you are, you know, this idea that we talked about before with the ego, possibly putting a little spanner in there in terms of, you know, wanting to, I guess, the ego can side more with the mind-body connection not being so harmonious, if that's what you've mostly experienced, okay, because the ego likes to keep us in the familiar. But it could still be kind of putting a little spanner in there in terms of if you're wanting to evolve your mind-body connection, maybe that's, you know, would be worth looking at the ego here. But you have the strength to overcome this, you know, this, and when I say ego, it's not like the whole of your ego is against you, okay? It can just be a little bit in there, right? Because there are functional aspects of ego, and there are always some dysfunctional aspects as well. Most of us experience that. And here is the Eight of Wands, which is also that fire energy ready to carry you forward. Let's look at the bottom of the deck here as well. Four of Swords, yeah, meditation, mindfulness, doing the rest. And this is interesting because it's talking about resting your mind and your body together. Okay, so it's like allowing getting plenty of sleep, getting, I guess, putting yourself regularly in restful, I guess, situations, being with people that you can relax with, being in environments that are, you know, not stressful. But obviously, you know, life is usually not completely void of stress. But it just means that if you, perhaps, for example, if you have a stressful job, it's just going to be important for you to experience times of not stress as well, Gemini, okay? As I pulled that card up, we also have the Magician. So, yeah, stepping into your potential here. I also really like how this person is, you know, meditating or sort of sitting in a yogic sort of position here. You also have energy work. Also, let's look at the Eight of Wands here, which has just come up underneath. So once again, this fire energy of moving forward, really receiving and being open to those high frequencies coming in to help you, Gemini. And you also have the Ace of Wands, which is, you know, inspiration, passion, a lot of spiritual energy coming in for you as well. So there we have it, Gemini. I think we might wrap it up there. I hope that's been helpful. That's a really awesome reading for you, I think. And yeah, I look forward to your next one. In the meantime, have a fantastic day, an awesome week, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.